Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations. And yesterday we put the napkin and the book paper on our little fall journal covers. And I just want to pop on real quick to show how I'm going to put the holes in my covers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut mixed media paper to the same size as this, because with the slip knot binding that I gave a link for in the last video, you don't have to worry too much, I don't feel, about pages sticking out too far. So you'll have to make your pages slightly smaller is what I'm getting at. But for this journal, I'm going to go ahead and cut mine to the 4 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch pieces. And I'm going to use mixed media paper. And by next Wednesday, I'll show up and my journal will be together. And I think I'm going to put 12 mixed media pages in here. So that's 24 pages back and forth, on the front and the back of the paper. So let's put our holes in this. And so I'm going to just take my ruler. And this is the 4 1/4 side. So I'm just going to come in, let's see, about a 1/2 inch from each end, and then come in just a little ways from the edge. Let's put a little mark. Let me tell you, about 1/4 inch from the edge, that is where I'm going to put a dot. So about right like this. I'm going to put a dot at a 1/2 inch here, and then a 1/2 inch from this edge. And then I'll just line my ruler up with those two dots. So that's 3 1/4. So I'm going to do 1 1/2 would be 1/2 of 3, and then 1/2 of 1/4 is an 1/8. So I'm going to go 1 1/2 plus another 1/8. And that'll give me where my holes need to go. And again, I'm going to check to see that I'm 1/4 inch in. This needs to be a little farther over. And I think that'll do. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning, Leah. And I don't want to put real big holes, so I'm going to use the smaller hole on this thingamajig. I'm hoping it'll go through this stuff. I think it will, except there's something in there, so I can't see my, there it goes. Couldn't see my mark. Actually, this thing has a little ruler on the side. So, see if I can get this on here. Where's my dot? There it is. All right, so now I got a little hole in there. All right, and then I cheat and I do this. I just line these up. So I want the pumpkins to be the right side up. So this is the front. This will be the back. What I'll do is I'll just stick something down in there to mark those where the holes need to go. And I think the pen isn't going to go through there. Let's see. At least I don't think it will. But my pokey tool will if the pen doesn't. So we'll try the pen, and if the pen doesn't work, then we'll use the pokey tool. And Scott says, hey, y'all, because he has, oh, it does work. So see, there's my little marks. Come on, get back in there. All right. So there we go. And they line up. So I'll cut my Vicki says, morning, Scott. Hi, Karen. So I'm going to cut mixed media paper. I'm certain I have a bunch of it to the 4 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I'll do the same thing. I'll put holes in them. And then I'll do that slip knot binding that I shared the link to. And I hope everybody can print it off. When we come back next Wednesday, I'll have my little book done. And I'll post a picture on my community tab of what mine looks like. And then next week, I'm thinking of we'll begin, or I might do a separate live time impromptu and do some painting on the covers, because with slip knot binding, you can actually open your journal flat like this, so I could work on the back and the front at the same time because they lay flat. And again, I'll show you what I mean. This was made with plain cards and then paper, but see, you can open it. You just divide your pages in half and it lays flat. So that's why slip knot binding is so much fun. So this will have just 12 pages of paper in it, because this one took me forever. Now, a note about the slip knot binding: don't try to do all of one hole. You start and you do all 3 holes, then you add the next page, do all 3 holes. If you try to do all the way up and get all your pages connected, you're never going to be able to do these other 2 holes, because what it does is you don't have any room to maneuver, because it locks in the next page as you go. So make sure you're doing all 3 holes in every page as you go. And I printed that off to make sure it would print off the instructions, because it's just a little page I found on Pinterest. So you have to go to Pinterest and then print it off. But anyway, that's how you put your holes in. You find I always decide how far I want it in from either side, and I measure the distance between those 2 holes and then put one in halfway between the 2 holes. That's how I do it. All right. So I'm going to let you guys go. And I think Mary's going to be on later. I think it's 7 my time. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.